What if the secret to painting beautiful summer meadow was hiding in the tools you'd never expect? In this oil painting for beginners video, I'll show you some unconventional oil painting techniques and yes, some surprising tools that creates an incredible texture and the Nordic rustic look I love so much. And towards the end, we'll finish with an oil painting glazing step. That's where the real magic happens. Let's explore this together. And this oil painting landscape will using a lot of palette knives, different sizes to apply the paint on the panel. And the panel is actually MDF panel. I have treated with the gesso both side and 3 times to make sure that it's all ready for the oil paint. Like you can see, I'm using the larger size palette knife to apply the paint, titanium white and Payne's grey, and it's just a great way to get those subtle shift of the sky, the clouds, without even thinking about it. And first time when we blend with a rough bristle brush first, and then we're using the soft bristle brush, which is makes it a little bit more smoother surface. On the right hand side you can see that I haven't put any paint on it because I'm planning to paint the tree there, and later on we'll also paint those fir trees. I'm just focusing the sky now and the distance land as well, the tree line as well. I like using palette knife to apply the paint on the panel because you get that obviously more paint on the panel, plus you can create these nice texture on the panel as well. At first I just smooth up a little bit that it's not too lumpy, just a little bit smoother with my rough bristle brush, and then I just tap it with my crumpled up paper towel, which I love to use, and then I just smooth it up a little bit, just have a look how it looks. And you can always come back to it if you need to fix it up, because there is a little leakage of that paint, olive green paint on the sky, so you can just fix it up when it's completely dry. And like you can see, I just head up very easily with my palette knife, plain gray, getting a little bit more structure on the sky. This time I didn't use paper towel. I usually use paper towel to get those clouds done, but it's easiest using your palette knife as well. For our lake, and pulling with my palette knife side to side or pushing side to side to make it nice and smooth. And this way, if you can have a little different colors, different shades of color, it just smoothly blend with that scene, and then you can just finish it with soft blending brush. And I'm just placing the painted blue masking tape underneath that paint where the lake finishes, and then I just using a clean paper towel to just wipe and design my fir trees. Basically I'm doing this because I wanna make sure that I got the very thick dark paint, which is the olive green and sap green together, and sometimes I put a little bit more ultramarine blue in the mix to make it a little bit more darker. So it's ready to go and apply with the palette knife, very thick paint. And with this oil painting technique, we using a crumpled up paper towel as well, and we get nice texture. And because we got a little bit titanium white on the side of the fir trees, you get that a little bit more lighter green. So this is good oil painting technique for beginners. So this technique is very giving. It gives you a nice rustic look of those trees, and it doesn't look like it's forced painted, like it looks like it's painted tree. And of course you can use your brush. Never throw your brush away because you do need them as well. It's always good to explore with your different techniques and just learn from it, and then you can just take it as you want it when you learn from it. I just applied the olive green on my left hand side tree, and then I'm just tapping up with my crumple up paper towel, tree foliage, and bit by bit I just once in a while I change my paper towel, crumple up paper towel, and then I tap those tree foliages again, and we are getting ready for create that beautiful summer meadow with a Nordic rustic feel. So at the moment I'm just using titanium white mixed with Payne's grey, a little bit Payne's grey and yellow ochre, just to make it off-white, the main meadow, and then I add up some yellow ochre, a little bit more darker on the left hand side. The whole focus is to add with your palette knife randomly darker colors on the bottom, which is the olive green. Above the olive green I apply sap green, and then I even apply a little bit burnt amber as well. So just with your palette knife, and it does look very dark at first, but then we're gonna blend with our rough bristle brush. And when you blend it, make sure that you don't mix up between the colors, and try to keep the colors separate between the colors. It's very important because otherwise it just goes blending all the colors together. So just keep in that mind. We still need to blend it to make it's nice and smooth surface, because if it's too thick, this technique won't work. And another thing is that when we do use these colors, they are transparent colors. We change our crumple up paper towel a few times, and when we tap those marks on the surface of the panel, it just gives that beautiful foliage or whatever plant you're tapping on it. And it's just an easy way to do all the effects on background when we start doing actually those leaves and grass and so on. And when you do your landscape painting, always check up, step back a couple meters and have a look if it needs to be added or fixing something. That's the easiest way. And even just have a bit of a break and come back to it, because it does give you a fresh set of eyes. And here I'm just using my rough bristle brush to just give you a bit of a texture for the grassland, grass meadow, and it's just easy to use your brush for it, and it's very subtle texture what are we creating. And if you need some more color, like here I'm just adding more sap green, so using my palette knife and then getting my crumple up paper towel, and like you can see, it's very easy to get those little foliage for bush or whatever you want to create, because underneath there is titanium white with the yellow ochre color. And the whole idea is to just tap it gently and have a look how it reacts and what kind of design you get those plants what you are creating. And again, I'm just using my brush just to blending and pushing the paint around a little bit. And here I'm just twisting my paper towel, and now I'm starting whipping those grass stems. Like I was asking one of the videos what they call them, I was using word twigs, flower stems, or blades for grass. I think I got it right this time. But anyway, thank you so much for the information about the wording. But anyway, and when that has been done, we do another twisted paper towel, and this time we're using the off-white color, and that off-white color, you make it flat on your palette, and then you just dip your twisted paper towel on your palette, and then you start whipping those grass blades or flower stems. There's a lot of things you can do with your crumpled paper towel, your ordinary kitchen paper towel. So it's just a fun way to do it, creative way to do your landscape painting. And here I'm just using a crumpled up paper towel to get those little flowers on the top, the stems we were creating before. You can see that my landscape is not very colorful. So I'll doing always the glazing to give a bit more boost with the colors. So that is the reason why I keep it very, very light colors, and then I boost it towards the end with the glazing. And glazing is just a great way to create a little bit more color. Now we just let the painting dry completely before applying the next layer. So next layer gonna be the glazing and some details as well. So what exactly is glazing? In simple terms, glazing is a very thin, very transparent layer of paint that you apply over the completely dry layer underneath. Unlike regular painting, where you are working with thick, opaque paint, a glaze is mostly medium with just a tiny touch of color mixed in. First, your painting needs to be completely dry, like I said before. This is important. Glazing only works on dry surface. If the layer underneath is still wet, the colors will just mix together and you'll lose that transparency. I usually wait at least 2 days before I glaze. Because I live in the tropics, like I've been saying before, it's very warm climate here. So depending where you live, if you're northern part of the Europe or United States or Canada, you probably need to wait a little bit longer than just 2 days. Because I'm using Winsor Newton liquid original medium, mixing with my oil paint gives that more faster drying time. Like I said, it takes only 2 days to dry in my climate in Australia. With my glazing mix, I putting a generous amount of liquid original onto my palette. Then I add just a tiny touch of color, much less than you think you need. The glaze should look almost like tinted water, very light, very transparent. And what I really love about glazing is it's very forgiving. If you don't like it, you can wipe it off with the clean cloth while it's still wet. There is no risk, it's all about exploring. Now, before you try this yourself, let me share the 2 mistakes I see most often. The first one is using the wrong color. If you use an opaque paint, determining white, cutting yellow, that kind of thing, you won't get glaze. You'll just get the muddy, chalky layer on the top. Always use transparent pigments. You can find in your tube if it's a transparent color or opaque color. There is even half opaque color, so you can use half opaque color as long as it's very, very diluted. But there is an exception. If you wanna create a foggy effect, that's the only time I use opaque color like titanium white. So there is exceptions as well. Like you can see, I did the glazing first, and then I'm just doing those details, a little bit adding up like tree branches and stuff. So as long as you don't touch the nail, you can't glaze it over it because you got the fresh paint on the top of the glazing. Unless you wait another 2 days and then you can glaze it again. So you can glaze a few times if you want to and give you a little bit more depth. Glazing is one of those techniques that feels almost like a secret once you discover it. You start to look at your older paintings differently. You can see where a glazing could bring more warmth here, more depth there. So it's become part of how you see color. So I want to encourage you to try it, even on small study, even on something you thought was already finished. It's all about just trying what you have learned and exploring different techniques and just having fun with it. Absolutely. And I'm just detailing, adding those little tiny little flowers before I using the crumple up paper towel to add those larger flowers on the top. Because we have add the glazing on the main painting now, just make sure when you detail it that you have a very thick paint on your brush, and preferably it's gonna be an opaque paint color, because otherwise if you have a transparent color again, it doesn't have that coverage power. And now I'm just crumble up my paper towel, and this is a very simple way to do those flowers, which I like. I sometimes just haven't got patience to do little flowers all over the place, but this is the easiest way to get your bunch of flowers on your panel. If you want to see glazing and other techniques I used in a complete landscaping painting from the start to finish, I have a tutorial right here where I use these exact techniques to create glowing depth in the sky as well. Go and have a look, I think you'll enjoy it. And again, thank you so much for watching. I really like to hear from you, so let me know in the comments, have you tried glazing before? Or is this something new for you? And if you found this helpful, please give it a like. It really helps more people find the channel. If you are interested in more techniques like this, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next video. Thank you so much. Bye now.